Well, hello, and karibu to yet another episode of Sports Central. This is that show that guarantees your weekly fix of sports action.
That's right. Now, you know what you need to do? You need to make sure that you are holding your breath because we don't want you to miss a single second of what we have in store for you. We're your hosts, and I'm Wanjira Longhour.
And I'm Mike Mondo. So hey, how about you sit back, relax, and let's get this show on the road. We catch up on the recently concluded SportPesa Arsenal coaching clinic as Kenyan coaches from Kenya Premier League and the Nationwide League learn how to coach the Arsenal way.
It's easy for the player to discover himself or herself.
We need to make sure that we can develop the whole player.
So you can see a lot of the learning then being taken place, put into context out here.
We've been discussing on the various tactics, various teaching points, and how according to the Arsenal way of thinking, according to the play and the impact between the coach and the players. Now this is what we call the coaches themselves, trying to implement what they have learned.
And to grace the week-long camp, Arsenal's legend and part of the Invincibles, Lauren Bissan Etem-Meyer, was in town and joined in on some of the sessions.
You have to defend as a line. You have to believe every single day in what you're doing. It doesn't matter. Believe in what you do every day, follow your dreams, and then one day it might be happen. So, stick on that, and not much more to say. Thank you to all of you to be coming here, Arsenal, SportPesa, and all of the coaches here that they've been involved during the whole week. So thank you very much to everyone.
Our partnership with Arsenal, it makes us feel proud that we can bear some fruits and we've brought something of value to football in Kenya.
The 2016-2017 season of the Kenya Cup kicked off with a lot of intensity and of course with several teams looking to better their performance this season. And not only that, they also are looking to give the defending champions Cabra's Sugar a run for their money.
Sports Central went ahead and joined in on the KCB training session with the Lions to see how they're approaching the season.
Played a few tough games, but that's the nature of rugby. Yeah, we are taking each game at a time, and so far so good.
We've won all our games, drawn one, no loss yet. Boys are looking good. They've put in some hard work because it's a long season. So we started early, pre-season was early and tough. It's now getting better and easier, and we are winning games, and I'm happy.
We are taking each game at a time and learning every time. Every time we step into the pitch, it's a learning process, and that is all we are doing. We want to be an all-round team this season. Very many teams in this league have different strengths and weaknesses, but we are looking at going all round. From backs to forwards. We want to fire in all cylinders.
pre-season training was very intense. We did a lot of conditioning, and conditioning will really help us. Last season we were very predictable. We had the same set of players, which ended up at some point demoralizing some of the players, and also affected the improvement of other players.
We've trained together for a while, and I think the chemistry amongst the players is coming up now. By the time we hit the first game of the season, I think we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, it's a very long season and very physical, so there's more work to be done in the gym. There's more rehabilitation work, prehab and rehab.
Let's go! Harder run, switch again, lovely!
Rehab for players who are getting ready for the season, and rehab for the players who are injured. We lost 2 players in the floodlight, and they are slowly coming back. We are also bringing back our players who are injured last season. We have OJ now playing, we have Asin playing, we have most of our boys playing, and it's looking good.
They have lofty ideas for KCB. We are looking at, just as the bank is growing, we're looking at KCB as a team also growing and challenging rivals down south. We can have tours to Zimbabwe, tours to South Africa, some of the invitational sides, and also some of the sevens sides, the sevens tours in Europe, North Africa, and also South African sides.
Wanji, KCB, they're looking absolutely fantastic, don't you think?
I think that they're doing a marvelous job, and honestly, I think you'll agree with me, Mike.
Yep.
We're absolutely wishing them the very best. Well, you know what? It's time for us to go pay some bills, but you can't go anywhere because when we come back, we got some action for you.
I'm Lauren. Keep watching Sports Central.
Welcome back to Sports Central, the show that guarantees you your weekly fix of sports action.
Well, the Safari Rally has grown over the last few years. And of course, with the season wrapped up, we got the special chance of hanging out with one of the legends of the sport. It's all about Azhar Anwar. Have a look at this.
I come from a background not of a motorsport family. I have always been very keen to participate in motorsport. Ever since I can remember I was a little boy, I used to be interested in sports cars, in the Safari Rally, and it was my dream to rally. But the family could not support my dream financially. As we all know, motorsport is quite expensive. So it took a lot of effort, a lot of struggle. I started with very old cars and slowly built up to be able to be Kenya champion and have done the Africa Championship and traveled the world connected to motorsport. The highlights, well, there are many over the last 40 years. I would say winning the Kenya Championship several times, winning some events, including this famous Safari Rally. We won that in 2006 with George Mwangi, probably the only proper indigenous crew to have won the event. We have done the Africa Championship. I have been the first person in the world to build a Daewoo into a rally car, including the homologation and all the technical developments and so on. And we won our class in the Safari Rally with that. We went to South Africa, we won the event in South Africa, we were first, second and third in Group N. So it was quite a lot of very technical and very competitive things in international motorsport. I remember receiving a trophy that was this big from the ground for being the Motorsportsman of the Year. That brought tears to my eyes because that year I didn't even think I would be able to rally. I didn't have sponsorship and I really struggled. but we were able to do quite well. So he was recognized by the fraternity. That was quite nice. One of the things that I've been very passionate about for more than 2 decades is promoting the sport, because there is a vacuum. We have a lot of interest, we have a lot of enthusiasts who have the dream that I had, and they don't have the opportunity or the means to be able to get into the sport and to excel. Kenyans have proven themselves in all types of sport to be world level. Now, that opportunity is not being exploited because of a lack of vision by the organizers of motorsport, by the rules and regulations to promote grassroots motorsport in the country. Now, we are dependent as Kenyans on everything coming from overseas, the cars, the parts and so on. And there is no reason it cannot be done here. Here's an example. We are building a classic car here that and most of the cars I have rallied, we have built them in this workshop or we have built them ourselves. And they have won the Safari Rally, they have won the Kenya Championships and so on. So it is possible to do. We don't have to bring cars from overseas. And as you know, that's a lot of money. So if that approach was changed to let us concentrate on building more basic cars, more grassroots here locally, you can imagine what it would do to the sport. It would improve the industry. It would recirculate the money here instead of the money going out of the country. Yeah, it would increase skill. It's not only about driving, navigation, the team, the builders of the car, the engineers, the mechanics. Yeah, and supporting industries. For example, building roll cages, building seats, building the sump guards and the special suspensions, and we can do that here. So we need to build up as a nation. We need to build up from grassroots all over Kenya to have pockets of motorsport that are growing. I support a lot of the low budget, the enthusiastic people. My support is based not on the money somebody has, but how much effort they are willing to put trying to build up themselves in the sport. That I'm very passionate about, because I'd like to see motorsport become much, much bigger than it is.
I think these are mostly my 2006 trophies. The rest of them are at home.
You see, WRC stands for World Rally Championship. The event, if we want Safari or we want one of our events to be a WRC, it means it must fit into a championship that has been created not by us. And that is where the problem has come of losing the Safari and the WRC, because they're actually two totally different things. The Safari Rally belongs to us, Kenyans. We can hold one tomorrow if we want. We don't even have to ask WRC or FIA or anybody else. So why aren't we doing it? Why are we crying that we lost the Safari? We never lost the Safari. It is ours. What's stopping us from organizing one? But what was the secret? What was the key? The key to the Safari was that it was a long, tough event. Ask anyone, even people who have not seen it. That's what is in their mind. The WRC is a sprint. It is a closed event, maybe on private land, short sections, small distances. Two totally different events. The Safari as a marathon, as a tough event, suits our country and suits our nature. That is what gave us character. We need to go back to that to make the Safari famous again. I have worked with many people. I've tried to help them as much as I can, but really the finances have not been available. So what is needed for this sport to grow is more corporate involvement. So rather than expecting the enthusiast, who's usually a youngster, and we want to promote those youngsters to create their ability to raise funds and to get support and so on, it should be elders like us who have been in the sport and who know the game and whatever. We should be getting together and bringing companies in, picking on the talented ones and supporting them to make them champions. we could be sending, not crying for WRC to come to us, we could have nurtured talent here that we are sending to WRC to go and challenge the world. I can only thank God that I have lived my dream to the fullest. I have, what do they say in English? I have been there and done it.
Recently, the men's Kabaddi team did a fantastic job repping the country in the World Cup.
Absolutely, and you know what? The ladies were not to be left behind, put lightly. Of course, Sports Central had to be all up on that like white on rice. Take a gander.
Kabaddi women team started in 2014, but there have not been matches, so they've just been training like once or twice a week. Yeah, because someone asks you, why do I come for training and there's no like other women to play with international tournaments. So like we had men go for Pro Kabaddi League. So this really motivated other men to train. But now the girls ask me, why do we keep on training and there's no tournament? So this has made them to be coming for training like once, twice a week.
We come here we start training at 6 in the morning. So I have to wake up at 4 so that I can be here at around 6 by 6.
This sport needs sponsorship. It's a new sport in the country. Many people like this sport, many players are there. You've seen yourself in a training session, how many people turn up for a training session. So, and the only challenge we have, we need things like medical insurance. Players need like to get something, some small training allowance. So such things, we've not been able to pay our players because we have no sponsors. Because now I depend on my pocket to give them breakfast. You've seen them have breakfast because this training is very hard.
Qualities of a good Kabaddi player would be flexibility, strength, and just like reaction, like really good reaction. Yeah.
So like when I joined it, I thought it was tough because the way our men were doing it, it was really tough, especially when you are going to attack someone. You use a lot of energy, but once I tried, it is not that hard. I can make it because I have passion in it.
Today at the moment, we are working on our defense. Our defense is really strong, but some of us are still working on raiding, which might be a struggle for us, but defense-wise we're good. So right now we're working on mostly raiding. Most of the girls in this team look up to the guys. For example, the assistant captain Zuma and the captain of the guys David. Most of us look up to them because they're all-rounders. They can raid, they can stop, they can play anywhere. And most of us want to be like them, we want to play everywhere. So that's who we look up to them. And they give a lot of inspiration to us.
Now we have been invited in Korea. We are looking much, okay, we are not just going there to just, it is a friendly match, yes, but we are looking forward for World Cup also, which is next year on April.
Going to Korea, we are expecting tough teams because we're playing pro teams, so they've had a lot of exposure. So this being our first time, we're going to expect a lot of, we're going to struggle, yes, it's not going to be a lie, but we're going to do our best. And we're going to try really hard.
We are looking forward to meet USA, Korea, India, and some countries which are going to be there, of which we don't know yet, but they are going to be there. Around 8 teams. Around 8 teams we are going to meet there.
We're going to give, though we are going to play against the experienced teams, but we're going to give our best. We're going to learn from them, and also we're going to give our best. Yeah, it's not going to be easy because these guys have been playing all their life since childhood. They got experience, they have played Asia Games, they've been to World Cups, so they're more experienced than we are. But in a game of sport, you go fully, like we're going to use our strength. Yeah, our strength. They may be very skillful, but we can use our power, to dominate them. Yeah.
That was really physical stuff, Mike. Like, don't you think that's impressive?
Impressive, completely. I just love the way they... Okay, let me keep it PG.
Oh my gosh, I'm so over you. Now, you know what? We need to wrap up the show, as you can see. But before we go anywhere, we need to show love to our dedicated tweeps. So let me go ahead and shout out Badali, who is showing love from Naivasha. I see you, Pookie. And also to Davido, well, la-dee-da, who says that he actually digs Mike's suggestion about this underwater barbecue thing. So scuba diving and barbecuing at the same time.
Smart.
It could be a sport.
He's smart. He's loyal. I appreciate you, Davido. I appreciate you. Well, you know what, Wanji? You know, they say that great moments define a great sportsman. Yep.
Agreed, yeah.
Yep, so take a look at this.
Okay, he's inside the penalty area as well, and it heads over to Masaluka. Look at him. Keeper goes on the adventurous route. Masaluka scores!
Goal line with the goalkeeper out at the time. Oh, that's pure class. It's not like it's a tap-in or a header. I mean, he hit.
Believable. Remember the goal from Togo?
Oh.
Wow.
But I love surprises like that because I feel like people just think that goalies just are all about like defense, and I just gotta make sure the ball doesn't get aged.
And also look at the time. Like he comes in, I think it was one of the final corners of a game. He comes in, it was already past the extra time that was awarded by the referee. It was past 5 minutes into the
that was
final
intense,
90.
but like clean cut
goal.
Execution. That is a straight shooter.
That
and he's probably never really going to have in his career a moment like that because he's a goalie, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's dope. Look, Kamakawa, we want you to hit us up and let us know what it is you want to see more of, what it is that you absolutely adore, what it is that you absolutely abhor. In the meantime, though, we do have to love you and leave you, my darling. However, you know what to do. Until next time, keep it Sports Central.